We're with John Rafanello, and John is the mastermind and creator of WonderWorld.
WonderWorld is billed as a living invitation to make life wonderful, coupled to all the know-how to pull it off. Literally, it is entertaining people into how wonderful life can be. You know, Disneyland is promoted as the happiest place on earth because people go there and they get happy. It's beautiful, it's clean, it's a dramatization of all kinds of music and aesthetics and beautifulness and landscaping, and you know, it's a reflection of an ideal life. WonderWorld takes that to another quantum leap. It entertains people into the idea of what paradise would look like. It enables them to actually experience what paradise would be like. And a quantum leap from Disneyland. It's designed to be the next quantum leap in theme parks. And not only does it entertain, inspire, enlighten in that order, but it also provides a connection to the know-how that enables people to fulfill their dreams for the benefit of themselves and everyone else.
Give me a concrete example, say, of one of the pavilions.
One of the pavilions is called emotions. Emotions. Emotions obviously either get in our way and prevent us from fulfilling a dream, or they catapult us forward. If we got fear, we don't tend to move forward. If we're apathetic, we don't move forward. It's next to death. An apathetic person says, well, here's another promotional video that Norrie is making with her camera, and I suppose it'll go somewhere and somebody will see it, but if they don't see it, it won't make any difference. If we do it, if we make the world better, it'll be the same. Right? Emotion, emotion, emotion. If you get excitement, exhilaration, even conservatism, oh, here's how we go about it, then the person moves forward. In WonderWorld, there is, outside the Emotions Pavilion, there's this huge spiral that is coming out of the ground, several stories below the ground, and is rotating all the way up to the top, and it is dramatizing all of the base emotions: shame, blame, regret, apathy, fear, anger, antagonism, and moving up into exhilaration, enthusiasm, peace of mind, the peace that passes all understanding. You move into the pre-show in the Emotions Pavilion, and you find yourself literally surrounded. It's a huge oval room, and all the way around you, the gamut of human emotions are being projected, from the most base up to the most glorious. And then the doors of the pre-show close, and the show of emotions comes to a climax. It shuts off, and a beautiful woman, momentarily the room goes pitch black. You go, whoa, you know. And then a beautiful woman materializes in the middle of the room, rotating. We hope to use Jerry Ryan, who played Seven of Nine in the Star Trek series.
Is this holographically?
It's holographic. Mm-hmm. Here she is called One of One, and she addresses the audience in this pre-show, and she says to them, first of all, we wish to assure you that there was no devious intent in creating the course that you are about to experience. It was simply that the elders realized that Earth was on the threshold of openly accepting aliens from other worlds, but was not quite ready to do so. Hence it was decided that we would blend unobtrusively in your culture to assist you with your decision to one day be part of the United Association of Worlds. In order to do this, we had to know how humans created their emotions. Hence, Professor Feeling, who is here today, created for us this Emotions Mastery course. You will be the first humans ever to experience this course. And once again, we wish to assure you that there never was any devious intent in creating this course, and she vanishes. See, our Hollywood media has portrayed aliens as evil, nasty creatures.
For the most part.
For the most part, with the exception of E.T. and a few movies. And the actual truth of the matter, and I'm not going to try to say how I know this, but the truth of the matter is that the universe is filled with beings magnificent beyond belief. There are more stars than there are grains of sand on every beach on this planet. The number of wonderful, evolved, fantastically beautiful beings is amazing. The number of Disneylands that exist out there that are created by some individual is astounding. So you're in the Emotions Pavilion, right? And you go in to this theater. You sit down in the theater, very comfortable, very luxurious plush theater. And as the production begins to move, the whole theater turns on a carousel. And the curtains open with you as the carousel is turning, and you meet this wild Christopher Lloyd type of creature who is teaching a class of aliens what humans have to think in order to experience and feel the emotions that they have. He's teaching them so they can blend unobtrusively into the human culture to assist them with their decision to become part of the United Socialist. And he says, value! Value, value is the key. Humans value things like we all do. They value their watch, they value their money, they value their loved one, they value their house. And when they have the idea that the value might go away, they feel fear. When they have the idea that the value that they seek might not come, they feel fear. They feel anxious. If they value their arm and they have the idea that a tiger is about to rip it off, they feel terror. The intensity of their fear increases. If they have the idea that the value is gone and lost, they feel grief. It is the idea that the value is absent that produces the grief. If they have the idea that someone else is preventing them from getting the value that they seek, they get angry. And if they have the idea that the value is present, they feel joy. Now this is a dissertation on me. With him, it's all being done with music, spirit of play, laughter, fun. He has the Angry Dogs 4 who are singing about anger. He has the Shame, Blame, and Regret Quartet. Right? One's got two heads, so it's a quartet. Shame, blame, and regret. Right? He has the high-toned gospel singers. And people are getting, through an entertainment, the idea of the thoughts that they create that produce the emotions that either prevent them from achieving their dreams or catapult them forward like a catalyst. And they move up a spiral into the higher toned emotions with the high toned gospel singers singing the glory of being, enthusiasm, the joy of heaven, portraying the majesty of having all of the things that you value actually being achieved, dramatizing the idea that the true purpose of our lives is to have the thrill, the ongoing thrill of having our fondest desires fulfilled, not only for our benefit, but for the benefit of all mankind. All done musically, beautifully, Disney quality. They then exit into a hands-on area of computer games and interactive software programming that enable them to play with the thoughts that create their own emotions, that either prevent them from going forward or catapult them forward. They can even connect into the WonderWorld University of the Air, and at home do an emotions mastery program laced with a spirit of play and fun that entertains them into a mastery of their own emotions. And this is but one pavilion in WonderWorld.
How many pavilions are there altogether?
There are 3 main pavilions in Phase 1. There are 6 main pavilions in Phase 2, and then there are a series of lands built around what is called Multiversity Lake. Multiversity is the concept of the infinite number of possible realities and universes that our mind creates.
To what degree have you designed these pavilions and these various zones?
All the conceptual designs are completed. in quite a bit of detail. There are 27 feature films that support.
Those have treatments or scripts?
They have treatments, scripts, or outlines.
Okay.
Right.
Now,
let me give you a quick summary of other things in WonderWorld, because they really impact on what's going on, if I can do that.
Sure. Okay.
You got different lands. One of the lands is called the Galaxy Swings. This is Mama's Galaxy Restaurant. Mm-hmm. At the entrance it says, fine food and good service, a tradition in 7 galaxies for over 1 million years. Right. The Galaxy Swings area is dedicated to fun, music, and a spirit of play. You will meet, for instance, the Dixieland Robot Ramblers. Right. The idea in this area is that we break down the barriers by marrying the familiar and the unfamiliar. So you have Dixieland and robots, mm-hmm. the familiar and the unfamiliar. Mm-hmm. You have the Alien 4 quartet, 4 of the weirdest looking aliens you ever want to see, but they sing traditional 4-part barbershop harmony. You've got the Alien Country Singers of the Warp Drive Symphony Orchestra. Next to that, that's one land, and again, I've only touched on it. Obviously now we need connections to people that could potentially pull us off.
Right.
Billionaires who know other billionaires who can connect us in. My ideal scene is that it would be built as part of Disney World. You know, an additional theme park.
Now you were involved in building the Epcot Center, right?
I was involved in ensuring that the Epcot project came in on time, on the date that the executives.
What was your role there?
I was hired to make sure it happened. What occurred was they had advertised when it was going to open. Disney did. The executives were scared to death that they would not open at that time because they were way behind schedule. I was hired to ensure that it did.
And did it?
It did. I went to the head of the scheduling department as an example to ask him where the project was. He was bent over his desk with a huge flow chart. I introduced myself. He didn't even look up. He stuck out his hand like this. I asked him where the project was at. He pointed to a poster up above his desk. Never said a word. On the poster, which had been done by one of the artists over at the studio, in beautiful multicolored grand calligraphy, it said, Opening Ceremonies Epcot, and showed a tractor pulling a pyramid of water skiers across the dirt lake. That's where he predicted they would be at opening day. They were that far behind. And what I did was, the reason they were that far behind was because the creative department was warring with the engineering department, and they would, the engineers would begin to plug something into concrete, and the creators wanted to change it, and there were all of these upsets going on. So I simply went from one person to another, going, do you want to have a miserable work day or a joyful one? Take your pick. Miserable, you already got down pat. You don't need me. Right? I got them back into joy. They're marvelously phenomenal people. It opened on time. Railings were being soldered as the dignitaries were coming in on opening ceremonies. You know, wells were being cooled and then sanded and then dried and then painted, and the paint was dried. Yeah, but it opened. It opened on time. But one thing I want to say is this is United Worlds. In the theme park, there are 2 huge areas, right? There's the Land of the Dragons, in which you can discuss wisdom and philosophy with dragons. There is Long, Long Ago with a 1,400-year-old codger, old Doc Fowler. There is Atlantis and the Water Humans, where you can learn love and attract the dolphins to come and swim with you. And then there are 2 areas, one called United Worlds and United Earth. And in United Worlds, aliens are teleporting in, their ships are landing. You can sit around at the Crash Saucer Salad Bar with them and discuss answers to all of the problems that Earth had. They're claiming they had all the problems too and found the answers. In United Worlds, this is where we're going to change the world. There's a theatrical production there. There is what is called the path clearing technologies. the path-clearing theater, And here we dramatize that it is in the interest of the vested interests, that it is in the interest of the powers that be to support the unified, coordinated freedom of every individual. It is in their interest to empower the uniqueness of the individual to the point where that uniqueness is actually manifested for the benefit of the individual and all mankind. These theatrical productions are wonderful. They're not designed to impose, they're designed to increase an awareness of how grand life could be if you supported all.
So make people aware of the possibilities.
Yes.
Okay.
And the actual technologies for pulling it off.
And then, yes.
In the theme park, you have the theme park will be the first theme park ever to have a university as part of the theme park. And it's called WonderWorld Multiversity. And in the theme park, you have the dramatization of connecting to all of the know-how and the level of consciousness necessary for us to actually pull off, to cease warring with each other, to cease opposing other people's viewpoints, to realize that their viewpoints are viewpoints. They are one of the ways life could be created, one of the ways life could be experienced. It might not be your point of view, but it's a valid way. And if you oppose it, you're only going to have a war game with your wife, your kids, your teacher, your boss. You don't oppose it. What you do is you present an expanded way in which both of you can win even more.
Right.
Than you're winning already, right?
So if you would want people to take away one thing from this interview that we've just done, what would that be?
We are going to arrive at
Great.
the paradise.
Okay.
We have the know-how. We have the power. We can arrive.
And it's going to be fun.
And it's going to be fun. The trip is going to be fun. Arriving.
Great. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
This is John Rafanello from WonderWorld.